It was a crisp autumn morning in the small town of Riverdale. The streets were lined with golden leaves, and the air carried a faint chill. Emily sat on the edge of her bed, her running shoes staring back at her from the floor. She had signed up for the Riverdale Marathon months ago, filled with enthusiasm and a spark of determination. But today, that spark felt dim. Over the past weeks, her training had been riddled with setbacks. First, a sprained ankle. Then, work deadlines that stole her evenings. And now, a lingering doubt that whispered cruel words, "You're not good enough. You'll never make it to the finish line." But deep inside, a voice fought back. It was the voice of her late grandmother, the woman who had raised her and taught her to never quit. "Emily," she used to say, "you don't need to be the best. You just need to be better than who you were yesterday." Emily tightened her shoelaces and stepped outside. The brisk air hit her face, and she began her warm-up jog. The first few miles were tough. Her legs felt heavy, and the cold air bit at her lungs. But as she pushed on, her body began to find a rhythm. Her breath synchronized with her steps, and her thoughts drifted to the stories her grandmother used to share about her own struggles. Her grandmother had grown up in hardship, working endless hours to make ends meet. Yet, she never complained, never gave in to despair. She always found a way forward, one small step at a time. Emily realized that the finish line wasn't just about the marathon, it was about proving to herself that she could keep going, no matter how tough things became. As the sun rose higher, casting golden rays over the town, Emily found herself running past familiar landmarks, the old library where she had spent hours as a child, the bakery that smelled of fresh bread, and the park where she had first learned to ride a bike. Each place reminded her of her growth, her resilience, and her ability to rise after every fall. Finally, she reached the marathon starting line. A small crowd had gathered, and the excitement was palpable. As the countdown began, Emily's heart raced, not with fear, but with determination. When the whistle blew, she surged forward with the crowd, her grandmother's words echoing in her mind. The race wasn't easy. There were moments when she wanted to quit, when her legs burned, when her lungs screamed for air, when the finish line felt impossibly far. But each time doubt crept in, Emily silenced it with a simple mantra, one step at a time. Keep going. And she did. When she finally crossed the finish line, tears streamed down her face. She wasn't the fastest runner, nor the most experienced. But she had finished. She had overcome her doubts, her fears, and her setbacks. In that moment, she realized that the true victory wasn't the medal around her neck, it was the strength she had found within herself. The lesson from Emily's story is simple: life will throw challenges your way, and doubt will try to stop you. But if you keep taking one step at a time, you'll discover strength you never knew you had. Don't focus on being the best, focus on being better than yesterday. Because progress, no matter how small, is still progress.